Sangha called out, her voice sharp with urgency. Dokja, over here! The group quickly gathered around a slightly ajar door. Hyun-sung stepped forward and said he would try opening it. He gave it a push, but it wouldn't move. This one's broken too, he muttered. Dokja, examining the door, responded that it was still their only viable option. As he spoke, a system window appeared in front of him, displaying the message, "Coins possessed, 4,700. He hesitated, glancing at the number. Internally, he debated with himself. I could use my coins again to increase my strength, but who knows what consequences that might bring. Using my coins recklessly this early could be dangerous. Instead of acting on impulse, he turned to Hyun-sung and told him to use his skill. Hyun-sung looked surprised and asked what Dokja meant. A system window popped up with a soft chime. Personal skill, character profile activated. Hyun-sung seemed puzzled and asked if Dokja meant that skill. As Dokja focused on the profile, new data appeared before him. Name, Hyun-sung Lee. Age, 28. Supporting constellation, Master of Steel. Personal attribute, soldier who turned a blind eye to injustice, general. Personal skills, bayonet level 2, camouflage level 2, patience. Stigma, great mountain push level 1. Overall stats, stamina level 8, strength level 8, agility level 7, mana level 5. General evaluation. Hyun-sung Lee has very good overall stats. Although how easily he once turned a blind eye to injustice was surprising, a constellation still chose him. This is another opportunity for him. Dokja silently breathed a sigh of relief. Thankfully, both his supporting constellation and attribute are the same as they were in the novel. He explained to Hyun-sung that he had probably seen his skills earlier when he checked his attribute window. Since he was a soldier, there had to be at least one skill he could use in this situation. Hyun-sung admitted that he had one, but didn't know how to activate it. Dokja encouraged him, saying all he needed to do was imagine using it. That's all it takes? Hyun-sung asked, uncertain. He placed both hands on the door. A faint green aura surrounded him, and with a surge of strength, he forced it open. Han gasped in shock, clearly startled by Hyun-sung's raw power. It worked! It really worked! Hyun-sung exclaimed, turning back to Dokja with a triumphant smile. Another system message appeared. Hyun-sung Lee has begun to trust you. Your understanding of Hyun-sung Lee has increased. Dokja thought to himself that the Stigma Great Mountain Push had successfully activated. The group exited the train, sprinting along the rails, with Hyun-sung carrying the child on his back. Dokja shouted at them to run. The steel door connecting to subway cabin 3707 will break soon, he thought. But if my memory serves me right, the door isn't the real problem. Suddenly, the dokebi appeared in midair, floating in front of them. With a look of annoyance, it muttered, Gosh, I knew this would happen. I told you earlier to stay put. Damn it, I'm not even done preparing the next scenario. Han clutched his head, panicking. Ah, I knew it. I told you we should have stayed inside. The dokebi sighed in frustration, then said, Well, I guess I have no choice. You're very lucky, human beings. With a snap of its fingers, a system window appeared before everyone. The second scenario has arrived. Sub-scenario escape. E, clear conditions. Get across the collapsed bridge and enter Oksu Station. Time limit, 20 minutes. Reward, 200 coins. Penalty for failure. Dokja looked at the message, lips pressed into a grim line. I knew it. He immediately started to run. Sangha, still staring at her system window in confusion, called after him, Dokja, something feels off. It says collapsed bridge, but the bridge isn't. Don't worry about it and just run. Dokja shouted, Hurry. An overhead view revealed the bridge stretching before them. Dokja's thoughts raced. In other words, the bridge will collapse. It might seem unfair, but this scenario is impossible to clear without bending the rules a little. He glanced back. Hyun-sung was still running with the child on his back, Sangha following close behind. We're cutting it close, Dokja thought, but I think we'll make it. Suddenly, Han let out a scream. Ah, what the hell is that? Beneath the bridge, a whirlpool had begun to form. From its depths, a massive sea serpent emerged, eyes glowing as it fixed its gaze on them. It's an ichthyosaur? No, a sea serpent? Or maybe a sea commander, judging by its size. Dokja thought in alarm. The serpent let out a deafening roar. Dokja yelled. It's coming! The bridge is going to collapse! Run! We can still make it across if we hurry. He reassured himself. The ichthyosaur doesn't target incarnations this early in the story. It's probably just here to destroy the bridge. We've got about 200 yards left. At this pace, we'll make it. Watching from above, the Dakabi sneered. It's no fun if the game's too easy, is it? What's the thrill in you getting away safely? Let's shake things up a bit. It snapped its fingers again. Another window appeared. The difficulty of the scenario has been adjusted. Difficulty ED. The evil thoughts of the dead have returned. Black ether is rising from the surrounding earth. Suddenly, a black aura seeped from the ground, rising from the corpses scattered along the path. The air grew colder. Sangha looked behind them and screamed, "Zombies!" A new system message appeared. Demonic beings have been resurrected. Undead figures began sprinting toward them, one shrieking, "You bastards!" Realizing the danger, Hyonsung set the child down and called out to Dokja. At that moment, another message appeared. You have entered Oksu Station. But Dokja, Sangha, and Han were now surrounded by the undead. Dokja glanced upward, voice steady despite the chaos. Everyone, get down. With a deafening crash, the sea serpents smashed into the bridge, collapsing it beneath them. Dokja! Hyonsung shouted in horror.